hunting for what I call inversion toys, things that are normally a one-way up and they turn upside down, or ambigram. There's all sorts of versions. This one I've had for really quite some time. Well, I don't hold it up to the camera actually, but it's a German invention. It came out about 20 years ago. Now they're fairly common actually. It's an hourglass with the sand in the wrong place at the top. It should be trickling down there, which it would if there's air there, but it's not. There's something else there. Turn it upside down and it starts to perform. Let's see if I can get this into sharp focus. And there's lots of little air bubbles at the bottom, which I have to try and remove because they help to, they somehow disrupt the sand. Let's see what happens when the first one comes down. Just waiting for that first air bubble to get up through it. Oh no, it's just from further down. So it's a very fine granules of some plastic, specially made, which is just slightly lighter than water. All I've got in there is distilled water, and I have to fill it each time because the water seems to evaporate somehow by magic. And then it can be used again. There's a hole there which is actually liquid, but these are air bubbles at the bottom, which shouldn't really be there. What a lovely idea. One of the problems with this is actually a 7-minute one. I mean, 7 minutes is a long time, a very hard-boiled egg you get from it if you're doing an egg. Or one of my colleagues says if you've got very, very fresh eggs straight from the chicken, they do take a bit longer to do. Perhaps 7 minutes isn't such a bad thing. You know, we like runny white, we like a hard white and runny yolk. That's my favourite. Oh, there we are. There goes the air bubbles now. So the air bubbles is something that slightly spoils it. Well, it's a bit of fun to watch as well, but by opening up and putting a little syringe in it, I can extract the bubbles and make it go. So an extraordinary idea that's an upside down egg timer. Well, sort of, or other timer, a sand timer going the wrong way, all due to the fact that there's not air inside, but distilled water. Wonderful one. Something that my friend sent me last Christmas, which is a very nice idea. You're well aware, certainly from my student days, if you've got a haul of textbooks, you need to have a bookshelf, and you can't afford such things, you know, little digs where you're saying, you just buy planks and then support them with bricks. So if you want to invert that idea, you don't have a bookshelf, you have a brick shelf. Do you like it? Here we are. Let's bring it up and see if you can read the words. So this is my collection, very, very precious collection of bricks. The books are just there to help to space the shelves apart. That's a very witty, I don't think it's even Photoshop work, it's probably actually made by somebody and then photographed, because all you've got to do is reverse the whole procedure, take everything to pieces, and make the bricks into the spaces, and to put the books in between, and it couldn't be easier. The planks stay the same as well. So something for you to think about. If you want to invert something, take something very obvious, like a bookshelf with bricks, and invert it. I like it. Here's a very strange umbrella, which is an inverted one. I was showing one recently, which is actually a doggy brolly, which started off the wrong way up, but actually became sensible when you realize what you did. This one is a little more mysterious. It's meant not for dogs, but for human beings. And it's got a very nice feature to it. So the strange thing is the handle is here, but the bits, you know, the tops of the ribs here, all the little metal bits there, are the wrong end, aren't they? And if I start to open it, you'll see it'll start to open up, as it were, upside down, which is not right at all. Let's see if we can make it go. This is looking very more strange. When you go to about halfway, look at that. Isn't that strange? A blue cusp bit at the bottom, a pyramid, and a black bit at the top. Keep pushing, and suddenly it flips. And it becomes a normal umbrella. And all this bit on the inside is actually a very, very nice patterned lining. Little holes depicting twirls and stars and flowers and things. And the outside, of course, is the actual thing which is exposed to the elements. One other feature to it, which probably occurs to you when you starting to use it, is that when you arrive at your house or your friend's house, whatever it is, and you've got a very, very wet canopy up there, as you bring it into the house, you close it up like that, and providing you keep it upright like you don't hang it from this end because it'll all drip out. You've got all the moisture inside, where if you prop that up against the wall, you can take it away and in due course put it in the kitchen or the garage to dry out. So a very clever idea. A reversed umbrella which turns upside down and I think sing. Very nice. The last item is something I picked up in Amsterdam about 20 years ago. This is an extraordinary idea. It's an upside down wine glass, or that's what it looks like. If you turn it up this way, though, you'd have trouble because there's glass at the top there. If you started putting wine in there, it would be trouble. So what is it? Well, you have to get the other parts to it, which is an ordinary wine glass, And of course, you've got to have a bottle of wine and some stuff. And it turns out this upside down wine glass, which you're posing as a wine glass, is actually supposed to be a carafe, a wine carafe, a small one, but I've got a small glass to go with it. And this thing acts as a stopper. When you put that on top of it, you've got a stopper at the top to stop it from exposed. So let's try it out, shall we? Just to see if it works. This is very, very elaborate, this stuff, because instead of just swinging the bottle from the wine, it's got to be poured into here first. There we go. It's a small carafe, but I've got a fairly small bottle of wine, so never mind. That's probably just a little bit to show the effect, I think. So now it's very obvious that you can't turn that upside down. It's going to spill everywhere. But you could put the stopper on it to protect it from the elements. But it's now quite clearly not a glass of wine anymore, not a glass anymore. If you want to use it, well, you can. I'll pour myself a bit of wine. Perfect. Nice, but a bit elaborate. I think what I'd rather do is some of this. Thank you. Yeah, this is, yeah. So this upside down stuff sometimes leads to some rather over elaboration of things. It's something to keep a little bit under control, but still, I'm still looking for inversion toys, things which you have to turn upside down, and you find some very strange things when you do it.